you say, "Go, go, JohnnyO," as loud as you can, looking at that camera. Okay? You're gonna hold up number 1. Go, 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 JohnnyO.
Go, go, JohnnyO.
My racing career started by going as a kid with my dad watching at the Speedbowl.
John and Kevin were very young back then. And then we would go occasionally. And then as time went on, John was in high school and he was getting more and more into it. He always played with the race cars at the track, and he had a couple friends there that they would play.
So when I was younger going to the track, we used to watch Dennis Gaeta and Jeff Pearl usually. They're from my hometown, Salem.
They're Nerf powered and Nerf powered as they come off of turn number 4 back down to the stripe. These drivers, very, very good friends. And yes, they are neighbors. They live right next door to each other in Salem, Connecticut.
So always kept an eye on those guys and followed them. And they were always up front battling for wins. And then I really wanted to get into it. Nobody in my family had ever raced before.
He said, geez, I'd like to get a legend car. At the time, it was all you could do to get him to get a B.
I wasn't doing too good in school at that time, back in high school. It was more fun to go hang out with friends and, do other stuff.
And he's a pretty smart kid, but he had no interest in his schoolwork. So I said, I can tell you what, make the honor roll 3 times in a row.
So we had to get the grades up, and he said we'd get a car. So ironically, I got the grades up that next semester, and we went legend car racing.
Sure as kid makes the honor roll 3 times in a row, and we ended up behind a legend car from George Whitney. And he helped us out tremendously. When we first started with the legend car, it was fun. It was something he wanted to do. And at that point, remember, the kids were in high school. So, his brother Kevin was doing his basketball, his wrestling, his football. Johnny played some baseball. John played some basketball. It was always fun. I was always very involved with the kids, with their sports and things. Then as they got a little older, there was less of it. So this was fun. This was a family activity we could do together. We met some really good people there. I met Wally Churchill in that first season. We didn't really like each other, and Johnny and Jordan couldn't stand each other. And then Wally turned into one of the best friends I have ever made in my life. He's just a super, super good guy. We made a bet who would win the first legend race, John or Jordan. And we bet a whopping quarter. He still has the quarter because he won. But so you owe me a quarter, Johnny. John ended up getting a championship in that, and kind of that's how it all started.
So in 2018, we got a SK Light. We bought one from Rob Janovic, and we started, thinking that was going to be our next step up. So for the next 3-4 years, we ran both the Light and the Legend in the same time during the years. And that was definitely tough, but it was also fun.
Back then, I was much more concerned about him getting hurt. Back then, there was a lot of really good legend drivers, and they were fast, and we were in the way the first 2 years. We started from the back to earn respect, and also so he would learn how to pass people. George was very adamant about that. You're not going out in the front and wrecking everybody. And then, after, I guess, he blew up 4 or 5 motors, wrecked that thing every way possible. It was like, okay, they're safe. He's pretty safe. So, and now with Mike is meticulous with going over the car. So I know that if there's nobody else I'd rather have setting up the car for him, and I know he's safe all the time. And Mike won't put it out there.
Typical week at the shop here on Brickyard. You'll have myself, Johnny, Shelby, Jeff here. Obviously, we're doing any routine maintenance, any repairs.
Do anything from shaving tires to cleaning the car, oil change, any maintenance needs to be done setup wise.
Friday nights are setup night, and then we put a big screen on the bench and watch SMS on Flow while we're setting the car up.
And making sure the trailer's set and just making sure we have everything ready to go for the next week.
And then we load up Friday nights and get ready for Saturday.
So on a race day, normally Jeff will drive the truck and trailer. He'll get there nice and early.
He'll get there, get in line, get us a good spot.
Then Mike works in the morning and gets to the track as early as he can.
And then I'll usually show up, Mike will show up, and Shelby will show up. We'll get everything unloaded, start getting the car prepped. I'll go buy the tires and the gas.
We'll get those mounted up and ready to go.
Mike will mount the tires, get them ready, and then we'll just head out for practice. After practice, usually more people show up with the crew, whether it's Jordan, Logan, Jimmy, anybody else who shows up. Our spotter, Anthony, this year he was there for a couple races. We had Drew spotting for us this year as well.
It's a very routine-oriented process. We do this, we do this, we do this. And quite frankly, a lot of times I don't want to mess up the works. What they do works. So I'm not the guy to get in the middle of that.
Usually around heat race time is when my dad likes to show up with my brother. They don't like to hang around for practice.
I have a tremendous amount of responsibilities in the morning, which involves catching up on, say Judge Judy or something in the morning, so Saturday. We work a lot during the week. Saturday is kind of the best way to put it is I'll stay out of everybody's way. And they have their routine.
I pretty much oversee everything that happens to the car. We make decisions as a team on setup and changes. I'll watch from turn 3. I only get on the radio under caution, or if we're pitting, our spotters have full control of the race as soon as that 51 gets on the track.
So in the beginning of this year, we definitely had a championship on the mind. We wanted to race for wins, wins or more points, obviously. So we definitely had that on our mind, and we didn't want to tear anything up. We wanted to finish races, be consistent, and just be there at the end of the race.
2023 blast off. We were coming into the season with a fresh setup in 51. We're just coming off icebreaker win. Super confident in what we had. Pretty sure we qualified, I think, third in our heat, had a decent starting spot for the feature. Rolled off. There was 18 cars, give or take, maybe more.
We started mid-pack. We had a pretty fast car.
All right, broski. You really needed a race.
Everybody was anxious to get the year started. We had probably 8 wrecks. There was a couple long ones.
Johnny had no idea that I had put in a fresh battery before the race. So during these caution periods and red flags, he wasn't turning the car off. We went on track that day 41 minutes. And so we get through a couple of the yellows, we get through the red flags, we find ourselves up front.
JohnnyO, what's up, brother?
Everything is going to plan, just like we thought. We're gonna, in my mind, I'm thinking we're gonna win 2 opening day races. Like, this is unbelievable.
So we were running around for a while, and then I remember sitting on the track during one of the red flags. The car was running, and I could hear it start to make some funny noises, and I was like, oh boy, here we go. We're gonna run out.
There was about 3 to go. Johnny's sitting right in front of us on track, waiting for everyone to clean up whatever was going on there. I don't even remember. And he comes over the radio, and I could hear the car sputtering and stalling.
We got 3 laps, whatever is left. And then we finally start rolling, come across the radio, say, hey, we might have an issue.
I'm like, oh my God. So we get the car, Johnny gets the car started, and we're coaching him through a little bit.
We do the restart. laps were good, thinking, all right, maybe we might, get out of this one lucky. But nope, coming out of turn 2 on the last corner, we ran out of gas. Car just died.
Car shuts off.
Final lap.
Watch out, 16.
Oh, what's up with JohnnyO? Oh, what happened? Did he break? No way! Holy crap! What happened? Wow! Oh my God!
And when I saw all of a sudden the car start to slow down, I was like, ugh, what happened here?
And that was the end of that.
And that was terrible.
It was frustrating because we had to wait race 1.
Ended up, I think, 6th or 7th. We just rolled around the bottom to get to the finish line.
It was definitely deflating, humbling experience. Takes you right back to square one and back to work.
So when I met Shelby, her dad was always into racing and he was loving it. He wasn't the biggest fan of legend cars. We were running them all the time. He would still let us change the motors at midnight in his driveway after we were blowing them up on a Wednesday night so we could race on Friday at Seekonk or Saturday at the Bowl.
I wouldn't be helping them without Brian saying I should help them. And like not having Brian here and having all this stuff happen is crazy. He was instrumental in telling me to go get that car and fix it for you. And this was his dream shop. So he would drive and he would come by here and say, there's a really cool race shop that could make a really cool race shop. And then when we told Brian there's a shop in Preston that we're thinking about, or a shop in Preston we're thinking about buying, not a house, he's like, is it the one on Brickyard, the 3-bay? He goes, that's going to make an awesome shop. And he was so excited.
He was always at the shop helping with the modifieds. He loved it more than anybody. He was a big supporter in what we did. He loved it.
I think back, and just like, and here we are, we're making it happen for him. It's great.
So during the year we had an off week. We went on a family vacation to North Carolina and I decided to propose to Shelby. Thank God she said yes. She's been with me forever. Everyone's been waiting for it to happen. She's a big part of what we do. Huge help at the track during the week, doing everything at the house so I can be at the shop, be at work. After that happened, it was cool because we came back and won the next 2 races at the track.
This race kind of wants to get exciting, but it's... Oh, there he goes! Here he goes! Okay. He heard me. What's up? 3 to go. Battle for the lead. 3 to go. Wow, sparks are flying. What a move by JohnnyO, huh?
I'm glad we finally got to victory lane in the middle of July. Feel like it took all season. If we didn't run out of gas the first week, we could have been there a lot sooner.
And our winner of the next day, Mike Kuchta, JohnnyO Johnny fighting the pole that they have on the car.
Yeah, it took us half the year to get up here, but that felt good. We needed that. It's been a tough year so far. I got to thank Mike and Jeff for everything they did on the car. I was on vacation last week, so they did everything.
This past season, we were able to do just a lot of maintenance and really focus in on our setup on the car.
It's a small shop. Mike does almost all of it himself. He does have some help with, Jeff from Good News, Lock and Key is always here to help. Johnny's here. Shelby will do anything you ask her to do for help. That's one of the things I'm most proud of this shop, is this group of people. There's no professionals. There's no paid professionals here. Everything is volunteer basis.
So the people that come and help us out at the track every week is Logan, Bobby, Jimmy, Jordan, Kevin, Rowan, Sal, Laura, Lauren, Sam, the Gator family, Aaron.
Going into the last race of the 2023 season at the Speedbowl, we were, as a team, pretty confident.
We were pretty tight with points with Evan Burgoyes, Nick Hovey, and Tyler Chapman. We were all pretty even every week.
We had clicked off a bunch of wins, 2 wins and I think 3 podium finishes leading into the last race.
So going into the final race for the points, it was pretty frustrating because we had rain out after rain out, and then we had to, keep pushing back our last race. And I was hoping they weren't just going to cancel it and we were going to end up second. You don't want to lose a championship like that.
We were 2 points out behind Evan Burgoyes and the Chassis Pro guys.
We were close. We worked together up until this current year, 23. We had parked right next to each other. We helped them. They need a carburetor. They brought us tires or gas or something. It's a very good relationship. They're really good people.
And I kind of felt like if it was meant to be, it was going to happen. Both teams deserved to win the championship. It was going to hurt whoever lost it. And I didn't want that to be us.
We finally got to the track. All the nerves were there.
We all shook hands at the beginning of the race, said, let's see what happens here.
We set out that it was our race to win. We just had to do everything we could to win the race.
I remember rolling out for that first practice.
We were, half a second slower than Evan in practice.
We decided to go ahead and put our race set on, start going on that, and car came alive. So we scared ourselves for a bit, and then after that, everything was back on track.
In the race, we started, I want to say, mid-pack.
Right next to Evan. And it was going to be whoever got to the front first was going to win the race.
It was probably the longest race, but it felt like the longest race, but it went by so fast at the same time.
As John was making his way through, I think it was the 47 Zach.
My spotter was telling me, don't waste any time. You got to just one shot here and pass them, and we got to move on to the leader.
JohnnyO throwing it in! Woo! Come on!
We got past Zach pretty quick, and then all eyes were on getting to Hovey in the 16.
Nick drove a good race and protected and did all he could.
After got to Hovey's bumper, I know Evan was following me through traffic. He was right there, and it was going to come down to the last lap. So as we're going, the spotter's counting down the laps.
I didn't know that was going to happen. I thought we had second place.
JohnnyO! Good boy! Throwing it in! Oh!
We finally got a chance to get a run to the inside of Hovey.
High dramatics here! Wow, JohnnyO!
And I just threw it in there and made it work. We weren't going to lose that race.
I honestly didn't see that move coming as quick as it did, and I'm glad it did happen that way. And
wow! Oh! Hovey going back on the crossover! Oh, man! Hi-ya! Woo! I think we got it.
as soon as we crossed the line, we all were kind of questioning, did we get the championship? Did we not?
So I kept asking my spotter when, after the race was over, if he could figure out from an official or whoever, you know, what the deal was.
Is it on tires or no tires?
I just turned turned my car around on the front stretch, still didn't know, so I just pulled the victory lane, and when I finally parked, he finally told us that we got it.
That's a heartbreaker for Burgoyce.
You know, I feel bad for those guys, but at the same time, you know, here we are, you know, celebrating the championship, and my guy, you know, made it happen.
How's the fuel?
We got enough this week.
It was a big relief. I'm still kind of soaking it in today, actually.
Thank you.
Congratulations, champ.
Thank you.
Hey, one out of one more. That thing was on fire.
There you go. Good sportsmanship. That's what we like to see.
Both of those guys ran a really good season. I mean, it was back and forth. Nick Hovey was there. Zach was in there. Sammy got a win this year. It was a very, very competitive division. When you have that many cars that close together, it's just, it's good. It was a fun division. And to come out with the win on top in the championship, nothing beats that.
We had one goal, and that was to win the championship, win the race, and we did it.
Let's go through all the folks that helped out, got you to the title tonight.
I got to thank Mike, Jeff, the Pearl family, Shelby, my dad, Kevin, Logan, Bobby, Jordan, Laura, Wally, Rowan, you know, everybody that comes and helps out every week. It's a long grind all year. ServPro, the Quintal Insurance Agency, Guilford, Texaco, Joe Brockett, and Anthony for spotting tonight.
Your 2023 SK Light champion.
So it was cool to win the championship of the Speedbowl. Been going to the track since I was a kid. We lived right down the road. Second championship, different division, pretty cool.
I'm confident that he knows what he's doing. If you asked me the first 2 years, maybe 3, into the legend, would I have said that? My comment may have been a little different. But he is really good. He stays out of people's way. I don't know how he does it, but most wrecks, he somehow finds his way through.
He takes care of our equipment. He's clean. He's very consistent. Smart. Really puts a lot of thought, I think, into racing everyone clean.
So this upcoming year in 2024, we're going to race full-time at the Bowl again in the SK Light, try to defend our title. We're also going to run at Thompson in the SK Lights. Hopefully we can get a championship there. And we're also going to, we have a new legend car. We're going to play around with that sometimes this year as well.
Because we had fun with that. And honestly, if we're all there, if you can get a little more money to buy another tire, tires aren't cheap. You know, if anybody watching this video would like to donate to the cause, please feel free. So, but Johnny is now really taking over our business. We bought 2 new franchises in the last year, and it's been really, really busy. His brother Kevin came back from the Army. He's a captain in the Army. He's in the reserves now, and he's coming in to learn and to help. But Johnny, I couldn't do it without him. So Johnny's responsibilities are going to change. He's also going to be getting married. If he can, Shelby can pin him down to a date. It's hard to tell. He's at one of those spots in his life where he's got a lot going on. But yeah, no, I depend on him at work for everything. So when the more time he takes out of work, the more time I actually have to work. So there's not a real good balance there. So.